Yo, welcome back. So if you're here when we were doing manual recording of manual recording of our emissions, you know how it can be a painful thing. So today I want to show you how to do it through databases. Now, once you're reporting emissions, basically you're reporting it from reputable or known databases. You have to quantify your emissions based on something that is known and an accepted standard. So let's talk about two of them. One is the IPCC database, and the other one is ADEME. I do not know how to pronounce it, but it's ADEME database. So there's source databases that we can use. You can import data from a certified emission factors database by going through this direction, which we're going to see together. So let's start with the first database. It's called ADEME, or just before that, I just want to show you where you can import it from. So if I go to my database, that's ESG. If I go to configuration, this is what the documentation is talking about. So there's ADEME and there's the IPCC one. So those are the databases we have, and I just want to discuss the two. So for ADEME, this is where you'll find it. Just search it and you can find databases. So if I just go steps behind, yeah, so here it is. Okay, ADEME emission factors. There we have it, and you can find your different versions. So it's up to you to choose. Let's try version 23.4, and we can go and check it. I have been blocked from accessing it, so let me see. Okay, so let me see 23.3, and I can go to the URL. Okay, so I want to check it out one more time. So let's go to transport, for example, or energy. Let's go to transport. Okay, so for example, air freight, air travel, commuting, road freight, etc, etc. So if I go to commuting, if I go to this, okay, so if I go to that one, it's a French word, Agence de la Transition Écologique. So if I look at base carbone version 21, and if I just go to energy, for example, and let's say I want to see, yeah, let me go to the sources here, and I can see electricity supplied from grid. I can just break it down, and I can see electricity supplied from the grid. This would be the emission per kilowatt hours. Electricity supplied from grid is that, and you have the region. So basically it's going to be tough for you to just go through, painful to go through this entire process. You can also look for the IPCC one. For those who probably are in this sector, they already know it, but we will not go into the details of it. The point here is that it can be a painful task to actually go through the Excels and the databases but in Odoo, luckily for us, we can actually just import it. So I'm just going to go to my database, and I'm going to download the Agence, that one. So let's download it, de la transition écologique. So once I download it, it's going to load so many emission factors. So let's just wait for it. Okay, so there you have it, and I have 6,518 emission factors. And just for completion, I think I can show you the IPCC one that I had already downloaded in a test database. So it's up to you to choose what you want to use. So this is a test database. You can see for IPCSE there's 10,000 plus. And let's just tinker with it for just a minute. I want us to see a few things, probably just to give us an introduction of what you're going to discuss next time. Let's look for flesh meats, for example. You've probably heard of people who've become vegan or vegetarian because of the climate. Or you've had companies where beef is not given to the employees, etc, etc. I think probably now you see where this is coming from. Again, in a previous class I said this is a lot of politics, which not all of us have to believe. So let's just do it in Odoo and forget about the politics. So for example, meat, poultry or fish, feeders homemade, these are the emissions in kgs. Beef stewing, meat raw. So let's enter and see. So the emissions here would be 27.8 kgs of CO2 per kg. So if we cook that for our employees, we know how that is going to affect our footprint. Let's look at meatballs. It will be 30 kilograms per kg. So you can imagine if we cook 5 kgs for our employees, how is that going to affect us? I'll meet you in the next one where we're going to discuss more of ESG and less of politics and vegetarianism, veganism and meat eating. Au revoir et à très bientôt.